Hello, VooTubers. Tuesday afternoon, this lovely 6th of June, I thought I'd bring you a complete compare and contrast between the events that happened today, 80 odd years ago, 82 years was it, when the Allied forces were running up the Normandy beaches. Lads of 18, 20, 19, 20, 21 years old and older sacrificed their lives to free Europe from the invasion and occupation of that horrible little German corporal geezer and his minions. Yes, they're all kinky and very, very, very everything. Them lot of psychopaths, weren't they? And to clean out the infestation, really, that they'd created across Europe. So that was going on now, today, 180 years ago. Nearly 100 years, isn't it? About 82 years ago. So compare and contrast that great event, epic event, the greatest generation. We'll never see a generation like that generation, I don't reckon. Well, not in my lifetime anyway. And then these bunch of numpties. So this is the showcase trial whereby it's all supposed to be thrashed out. Nobody needs worrying about grooming at ITV anymore. No, because look, the government's called them into their little quango. Yes, load of middle class people getting, well, upper class people getting paid on the taxpayers' dollar to stick their noses into areas they'd be better off doing some government stuff, really. Hospital appointments, doctor's appointments, stopping the French coming up on their dinghies, that sort of thing. But no, the government are spending a lot of money on this show trial, aren't they? So here we have this chap who's somebody or other to do with the government. Yes, compare and contrast. Nicholson, his name is. I believe his accent sounds like he's from Edinburgh. So let's have a listen. Come on.
Performance by the editor of the programme, who,
John
when he was
Nicholson
being asked
MP.
by a reporter from Sky
Right.
about bullying on the programme, started talking about aubergines.
Aubergines.
It was surreal and bizarre. I think most people watching that would have thought...
Had he been smoking the devil's lettuce, John? We don't know, do we? He is bizarre.
This is the person who's responsible for safeguarding young staff. He's being outrageously dismissive and flippant on camera about an immensely serious issue. I wouldn't like to be a young staffer going and talking...
But don't you think that's their entire shtick, really, is that they do just brazen everything out and power through? Because basically every last one of them should have been sacked. They've tried to draw the line just under the one person, the one young lad whose safeguarding wasn't taken seriously. In fact, they just fawned all over Pippi Scrotum Bag, and he got a free pass to do and behave, do what he wants, behave any old how, with no decorum, in a way that anybody else in public office or in the media wouldn't get away with. But having said that, I'm from the Seville generation, so, I mean, they've learnt nothing, have they, really? They get away with it because there's probably hundreds of thousands of people in this country that could sit on that sofa every morning and read the bleeding auto cue. It's not rocket science. Why? They get the same person? They should have like 2-year rolling contracts or something, shouldn't they? And give other people a chance. Give you some young people a chance to get their foot in the bleeding door. Instead of these dinosaurs that get their feet under the table and you can't winkle them out for love or money, and they're so corrupt. Well, you probably could for money, but that's about it. Come on, John. You tell them how it is, John. Go on.
To that editor about bullying,
right?
Given that that's the way he treats the subject matter on camera in public.
Let me reassure you, Mr. Nicholson.
I'm reassured already.
We take this issue.
Hello, Magnus.
But what about what he said?
Well, I wouldn't endorse what he said.
No.
In fact,
you agree it's bizarre.
I wouldn't use that word.
Right.
What word would you use?
I'd certainly
I've
say
got quite a few.
It was extremely ill-judged.
I've got loads of words. I nearly blurted out one, begin with C, ended in T, and had an ish sort of somewhere along. But it's gone now. I think it might have been French. I'm not sure. He was the editor of the programme, and he's been a TV executive, that Frizzell, for years and years and years. He's been around the amount of decades I've been around, he's been around. He started off when television, morning TVs first started back in 1980. 3, 2, 3, whatever, 4, Good Morning Britain, Breakfast TV, all that old malarkey. This guy is the front guy, isn't he? They've sent him in because his eyes are so disingenuous between me and you two viewers. He's doing his best to look really solemn and very intense. But to me, what I do is I just visually sort of look at the eyes and close off the mouth and the nose so you just see the eyes. And I mean, he's manfully trying to put up a fight because that's what his job is. That's what he's been rolled out to do, isn't it, really? I mean, basically, they can behave any old way they want, and they've got a PR department, they've got a law department. People will come out and do their jobs and get them off the hook. Because I think the whole of Good Morning Britain, what is it, this morning? I think the whole of the executive on there and the ITV people, is it Carolyn McCall, the chief executive of ITV, they're just powering through because they are untouchable. They've been there for bleeding however long, and nobody's going to get rid of them. They're not taking it seriously, which is why Frizzell just turned around and said, "Do you like aubergines? Because I don't," which is really just not. He thought it was funny, but it really wasn't. It fell flat on its face. A bit like Pippi Scrotum Bag, really. I think the only way they could have maintained any gravitas is for the people that are in positions of authority to have prevented it happening and to have overseen safeguarding and the conduct of their stars, are they called? Whoever they are, the people that sit on the sofa and read an autocue every day. Oh, dearie me, it's so hard, my job. There was people that had positions over them that was supposed to be, and they didn't. They didn't look after anybody. Well, they did. They looked after themselves. Come on, then.
Judged,
right,
to say what he did.
Yes.
But look, I can reassure you on behalf of ITV.
I'm reassured already.
We do take all of these allegations very seriously.
Yes.
Precisely because we do have a
BS. I call
culture,
BS.
In which
he's loving his moment in the spotlight, isn't he?
Is his position secure after
I faced the camera,
That's
Mr.
not a
DeMille.
question for me, and it's not a question for now.
Right.
As you know, one of the ways in which
if it's not a question for now, what are you doing at an inquiry? I think all the questions are for now, especially after what you lot have been up to. Oh my days!
We are demonstrating that we're taking this seriously.
I'm so glad I don't watch this rubbish.
A very senior Casey who's got very significant experience in dealing with HR issues and particularly sensitive investigations.
Oh, it is. Oh, human resources very sensitive, and dealing with sensitive investigations. It's your job. If you hadn't have had that person there with the power that he had, or handed the power to him on a plate and turned a blind eye, you wouldn't be, any of you wouldn't be in this position. And you have no gravitas with the public. Yes, there's probably people out there that probably IQs of below 72 that will just still sit and look at you. But you've lost any sort of gravitas you have in society, really. And I don't think any of the rest of the media will ever let them forget about it, will they? Hey, what do you reckon, VTube viewers?
Because there are multiple things we have to take into account here around
You
privacy
do, like money.
and so on, as you will appreciate.
Privacy.
And it's appropriate that actually the KC establishes the fact.
Privacy. Yes. Cars were going to the flat that you guys paid for. His flat, Pippi Scrotum Bag's flat, that was paid for on your moolah, and the taxis or chauffeur-driven cars were paid on your moolah, like picking the young lad up, taking him to work and dropping him back again. To me, not being funny, that sounds like you're complicit, all of you. Go on, defend the indefensible, I dare you.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
Anyway, I'll leave it there for 2 verses because I think my head's going to blow up. Bye-bye now.